Welcome to Nightlight. Step away from the mainstream and gather around as we enlighten the world and our realities and travel this cosmic journey we call life. Join us as we share with you and provide that beacon that can guide us all to a better way. Explore with us as we examine a metaphysical montage of spiritual insights, covering everything from the mundane to the magical, UFOs to unicorns, and everything in between. This is a time of awakening, of sharing and evolving, of spreading our wings and soaring on the cosmic breath of creation. Come and join with other light-minded spirits as we weave our lights together to seek understanding, enlightenment, and, with a little luck, some wisdom. This is Nightlight, a reminder that you are never alone. And now, here is your host, the lovely, delightful, insightful, and all-around great gal, Ms. Barbara DeLong.
As always, I have the amazing Ken Quiet Hawk to thank for that great introduction. He and his wife can be found at nativestorytellers.com. I urge you to check out their site. It will amaze you, enlighten, and educate you all in the same time. Welcome everybody to Nightlight. It is a pleasure to be here again with you and to share the evening with the amazing Michele Avanti. She's going to be weaving her magic for us this evening and enlightening people as to their whys and wherefores, and probably a whole bunch else, because she never ceases to say something new. And I always have pen and paper right by me, because she always drops these wonderful little tidbits of wisdom as she goes along, and you have to listen for them, but they're there and they're magical and they always apply to life. Welcome to the show, Michele. It's Sunday night instead of Monday, and you're here.
I know, isn't it amazing?
Well, yeah, and you know what else is amazing? I have been congratulated any number of times that this show is going to go 3 hours.
Wow. That's
Did you
incredible.
Know? Especially since Blog Talk only lets me have 2 hours. So
wow.
someone publicized it that the show went from 9 to midnight. I wonder who that could have been.
That could have been me, huh?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm not good at counting. I always tell people that. And I still don't do well at it.
I know. Jeannie called and said, I don't think I can do 3 hours of the show. And I said, well, nobody's asked you to. She said, well, Michele says we're going to be on for 3 hours. And I said, well, unless
I make that mistake every time I write the thing down. Sorry about that.
No, that's
okay. I should have called me
okay.
to correct
it. Anybody who calls in at 11 o'clock thinking they'll catch the last hour deserves to catch nothing. I mean...
Yeah, well, hopefully, people will be listening from the beginning and realize we're only doing 2 hours.
Yes. Well, there are a lot of people that knew to call in early, because the switchboard was actually full by the time I got here, just about. So I'm very impressed and amazed. I did want to ask you something. All hell is breaking loose in the country and in the world. Had this been predicted? Was something going to happen massively, upheavalingly?
We're just in a really challenging time. Jupiter is coming to the end of this cycle where it's been in a positive position with Saturn and Uranus and Neptune and Pluto, all of them kind of working together in their own ways. At least they were communicating, all of them in either earth or water signs. and Jupiter has pretty much pulled away from everybody, and it's on its way to the next sign. Matter of fact, it will change signs November the 10th, a couple of days after the election. So on the day of the election, it will be at the critical degree of 29. And, well, you know what? It's not surprising. When you look at the overall picture, Jupiter has been going through Scorpio for the last year. And what it has been doing, well, Saturn has been in Capricorn. Saturn in Capricorn is the principal who has all the power and all the rights to control, to structure, to organize, to get things clearly set up. Jupiter has been in Scorpio, so it has been exposing everything that is been hidden, everything that has been underground, everything from sex crimes to tax crimes to any mortgage crimes, any money that anybody has ever or resources anyone has ever shared and hid away in some form or other. So as it approaches the 29 degrees, whatever's left to come to the surface is going to be kicked up. Does that mean anything is going to be taken action on? Not necessarily. Not till it gets into the next sign and a little ways into the next sign. When Jupiter gets into its own sign of Sagittarius, it will take control, it will be in rulership, and it will be ready to take everything that it's exposed to the legal process. So it will be going.
And when does that happen?
It starts in the next sign on the 10th of November.
Oh, okay. That's going to be interesting.
And usually, it takes getting into the sign a little bit before it actually does a lot. But it's going to start activating, and there are a lot of things that it will activate in the U.S. chart, so it's going to be interesting. Our moon is 23 degrees of Aquarius, the U.S. moon, and 23 degrees of Aquarius. When Jupiter gets to 23 degrees of Sagittarius, the doorway opens for every form of legal process to be publicly seen. So
wow,
it's going to be very interesting.
It is. I will roll my sleeves up.
Yeah, a lot to watch for, a lot to see. I think the fact that it's going into the next sign may be a signal that things are also going to change in terms of the Congress, but I never am going to predict anything till I know absolutely, and I've looked at every fact. So, but it could be a signature that's giving some point. It's certainly the fact that it's 29 degrees, a critical degree on the day of this election, to me is an indication that this election is probably one of the most important elections of our lifetime. So it's fascinating.
Well, so then the message to everybody is to get out and vote. Everybody, both parties. Everybody.
Whoever you want to vote for, but just get out there and do it. Don't miss this opportunity to vote in this election. This is very important.
Yeah, let your voice be counted and see what happens after that. It is going to be interesting. Michele, we have a ton of people in the queue. So we're going to have to start. Okay, first one up is Michele. Hi, Michele. You're on the air with Michele.
Hi, Michele.
Hi. What's your date of birth, Michele?
December 29th, 1974.
Okay, and do you know the time?
12:34 p.m.
12:34 p.m. and location?
St. John, New Brunswick, and spelled S-A-I-N-T.
That is in New Brunswick. You're talking Canada, right?
Yeah, sorry.
St. John. I think it should just come up. We'll just see if it will. Yep. Looks like Canada is very good about not having a lot of places that are duplicate names.
No.
So that's great. So let's go take a look. And what do you want me to focus on? What can I help you with?
Well, I'm single and I'm not working, so I don't know. Whatever you think I should find out about. Whatever you think is more interesting. Yeah.
So, income, we've got Uranus just starting in Taurus, and your second house, which is your house of income, is Taurus. Your career is Capricorn ruled, and Pluto's been going through that house. So over the last, 4 years, maybe 5 years, you've had some experiences to change the kind of work that you've been doing. That's a lot of the time what happens when Pluto goes through. It kind of dismantles everything if you don't take action before it gets there. And then you find yourself having to make change because it forces you. And Saturn, of course, is right now just in the early stages of Capricorn, but it will be moving. And when it hits that midheaven, we have probably a strong possibility that something will come of that. Although it looks like, you're born with Pluto in Libra at 9 degrees. Your midheaven is 9 degrees Capricorn. You have Neptune at 10 degrees of Sag, and Jupiter is your helper. So at 12 degrees, Jupiter, you were born with 12 degrees of Pisces, and that's when that gets activated, you may end up finding yourself with some kind of position if something doesn't come along before that. So taking a look at when that's going to be, I'm just going to kind of move it forward a little for you, and we'll see. And here it's a little ways down the road, so I hope you're going to be okay till it gets there. And of course, maybe it'll happen sooner. A lot of the time, people who are on the path activate the planets a little earlier, but it looks like around January the 6th, January the 7th, sometime right in there, you should have a doorway that opens up for you. So, and it may come through a phone call, but it will be probably a very well-established place that will be connecting, or an old connection that you've had in the past. And it looks like it's coming as a result of some good work that you have done, whether in this life in the past or in a lifetime before this one. So hang in there. I hope you've got enough to keep you going till then.
Yes, and maybe I'll just take something temporary before then. So that's pretty
always
cool.
A good idea, and maybe that's what'll turn the cookie too. You never know.
Yeah,
it's possible. Sometimes you take a temporary job and they just love you so much they don't want to let you go. So
awesome.
Go for it.
Yes.
It would not so much. With Saturn at 3 degrees and Uranus in your chart, you have it at 2 degrees. It is possible that something might manifest, although in the early degrees, Saturn seems to be challenged. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and, for relationships, Jupiter going into the next sign will be helpful. It's, going into Sag. And as it does, it activates your 7th house cusp. It also activates a lot of things in your chart early on. So it would not surprise me if, and I'm going to go back just a little bit here, if in mid-December you connect with someone from the past, someone who you have either had a strong connection with in a past life, or someone who is also going to activate some of your purpose in this life, and they look like they are someone who you may have had an intimate connection with before. So that's kind of exciting. It looks like there is a doorway of opportunity at that point. So, make sure you pay attention to what opportunities avail themselves. I mean, that's the beginning of December or the mid-December, there's always parties of some kind going on somewhere. So stay home if you want to meet someone, because you've got a couple of activities going on during that time that could bring you exactly what you want.
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. That was
okay, thanks for calling, Michele.
You take care, Michele. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. moving right along, we have Jay. Hi, Jay.
Hey, thanks for taking my call, Barbara.
Our pleasure.
Hi,
What's
Michele.
your date of birth, Jay?
March 24th.
March 24th, 1954.
64.
Okay.
64.
Oh, 64. I'm sorry. I made you a whole lot older there, didn't I? Let's see. And what time were you born, Jay?
11:54 p.m.
11:54 p.m. And where were you born?
Medicine Hat.
Medicine Hat?
Yeah, Medicine Hat, Alberta.
Okay, so you're also Canada.
Oh.
Fascinating. That's two. I don't think we've had too many people before who were Canadian. That's exciting.
Yeah, we are now international.
I guess.
We definitely are.
Well, hopefully we'll work on our border manners soon.
Yeah.
So what is it that you would like us to look at?
It's been a really interesting year, but I lost my mother this year, actually, and lost a best friend, so I'm just in a grieving process. So my spiritual thing that's going on, so.
I'm so sorry.
Thanks.
That is so challenging. So you just want to know when you're going to pull it together or when things are going to look brighter for you? This is, that's always really hard when we not only lose one person, but we lose more than one person. Boy, that's challenging. So let's see who's been causing you the issues. Uranus, of course, has been in this the fifth house, which is the house of things that we love and people that we love, and it creates an instability where you don't feel stable anymore, and you kind of have to work with it because it takes a long time to get through that phase.
Mm-hmm.
Pluto, on the other hand, and Saturn. Well, Saturn has been on your south node. It's been applying here just recently, and Saturn in your chart has to do with your communication, your thought process, and also what you value in life. And on the south node is also then, of course, opposing the north node. It's basically saying, what have I built for myself? What have I created for myself? What can I look in that bag of things that I put together, talents and experiences, and what can I look in there and organize it in such a way that I can feel more secure, recognize what I value and what is important to me, and what are my thought processes doing that is allowing me to understand the states of intimacy that I've experienced and the states of loss as a result, how deep that feels because of the intimacy I've connected. So there's a lot going on there with that activity, and that's going to go on now for like another 3 weeks or so before Saturn moves on and lets go. So when you feel a struggle between where you feel like you need to go versus where you have been, you need to just be very kind to yourself. Saturn can make you feel very kind of depressed and down, and it doesn't make you feel light or happy. So whenever Saturn is active, the important thing is to pay attention to what you're working on and work on it, but also take good care of yourself and be kind to yourself. So do things that create joy in your life. When we lose someone we love, what we have that stays with us forever are our memories. They are what gives us solace. You never really lose anyone because we are interconnected infinitely. So you have to remember that. It's not easy to remember when we're in this physicality because if we can't pick up the phone and talk to that person we love, it becomes challenging. But you have to practice love, and you also have to practice recognition. So let's see what else is going on here. Pluto in the second house says it's a time for me to review my values, transform my values, rebirth my values. So that is also going on, and that's going to connect to some of what you've experienced. it is definitely connecting to it. And let's see what else we have here.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's always a challenge when we go through these, and everyone will at some point in their life. So you were born with the moon at 0 degrees of Virgo. So I will add another statement, and that is to not be critical of yourself. Work on that, because a lot of the time when we have moon in Virgo, well, we love everything to be kind of perfect. The word perfect, unfortunately, goes with Virgo. And you need to recognize that perfection includes things that are not perfect. Because when you step back and you look from Spirit's viewpoint, there is perfection throughout the entire universe. And it takes little imperfections that make things so perfect. There are paradoxes in the lower worlds and the higher worlds. And when we embrace them with love, we come to a place of peace. So be kind to yourself. Don't let your need for perfection cause you to be critical of yourself and the things you've done. Honor the choices you've made. It's very important you do that. Your sun, you were born with the sun at 4 degrees of Aries, so it's in what we call a quincunx action to your moon. Your progressed moon right now, you're in a lunar return. So this quincunx tells me there was stress between your mom and dad, so the masculine and feminine sides of you can fight. The sun in Aries wants to take charge and get out there and break new ground and do things without having to put all the structure together. They just want to go. But the moon in Virgo is just the opposite. It's the engineer who says, no, we have to have all the pieces of the bridge lined before we go to cross. So you can find yourself fighting with yourself, and that causes stress. It would behoove you to kind of pay attention to where the moon is during each month, because when it's activating your sun in a positive way, so when it's in a fire sign or an air sign, it's a time where taking action can be good for you. Go for it. When it's in an earth sign or a water sign, that is your time to take your time and be more organized, pay more attention to the details. That way you feed both sides of who you are in a balanced manner, and that can be very helpful.
Okay. All right.
Okay? I probably have to stop because I know how we are in any moment.
Yes, you do.
But I hope this has been helpful to you, Jay. I wish you every kind hug that I can possibly send you through cyberspace, because when we have losses, we need to care for each other. We all have them at different times, and differences are so unimportant. Loving each other is the most important thing. So be really kind to you, and hopefully you have friends that will allow you to vent whatever your feelings are without interfering with your venting.
Right,
That's important.
That's important, yeah.
We all have all kinds of crazy things that have gone on that we have to learn to release. And when we have a loss, those crazy things come up. So give yourself the freedom to let them out, but be kind, Okay?
Alrighty.
Sure, your mom adores you. Wherever she is in time and space, she loved you from the second she knew you. I can assure you, no matter how she treated you, there is an element of love that's always there.
Yes.
So,
thank you.
I hope this is helpful to you, and big hugs.
Big hugs. Hugs. Love your hugs. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for calling, Jay.
Thanks, Michele. Grateful. Blessings to both.
Bless
Thank you.
you.
That's so sad. That's the sad part about doing this kind of a show. You do have to keep moving, and you want to spend so much more time with some of these people.
Yeah, I know. I'm
okay, we've got.
to learn.
You're doing very, very well. We've got Stacy on the line. Stacy, you're on the air. Stacy, are you there?
I might have muted myself and got lost.
Well,
I guess.
Then we will move on. Sorry, folks, you've got to hang in there with these, or we will have to move on. Okay, we've got Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. You're on the air.
Hi, I'm calling from New Jersey, and my date of birth is 10/9/78.
October 9th. Happy birthday, 1978.
Yeah, it's coming up. Yeah, thanks.
And what time were you, Jennifer?
5:35 p.m.
5:35?
Yes.
Okay, and where were you born?
Patterson, New Jersey.
Patterson.
Yep.
Okay. Got it. I've been there at some point.
Yeah.
Why you're not happy with it? That should be an easy one. Maybe,
Are you putting it with only one T? Because it's just one T.
That's exactly what I noticed, so we're there.
Yeah, it only has one.
I accidentally put two T's in there. And
it's okay.
That's what we're going with.
Some people, it happens.
Okay. And so what would you like us to focus on?
I guess, health.
Health?
I see from, some stuff with
Okay.
the health. What's going on?
Well, we'll talk about your health just a little bit in terms of how this is formed. You know,
okay.
when we coming to the physicality, we design these charts ourselves. It's our and you have put Leo on your sixth house cusp, which is the house of health. You have Pisces rising, which also includes how your physical body is structured. And then you have Saturn in Virgo in the house of health. And it's at 12 degrees of Virgo. So we're having activity with this Saturn, and there's going to be more activity coming up. Right now you have helpful activity. It's helpful, and some of it's just starting. But when we put Leo on this cusp, it's an indication that the bones or the spine can be challenged if it comes under hard aspect, okay? When we put Saturn in this house, we repeat the word bones, but then we put it in Virgo, which indicates that the issues don't necessarily start with the bones, but rather they can come as a result of problems with the gut. So the gut needs to be always, you need to work on detox, and you need to make sure that you have probiotics and whatever. You need those things, okay? That tells me right at the outset.
Yeah.
And then Pisces on the ascendant like that, then it adds one more aspect to it, and it's saying oxygen is incredibly important. You need iron. Ferrum phos is the connection to, and that's iron is what it is, but it comes as a result of oxygen. Pisces is the oxygen carrier through the blood. So you have a combination of things that hopefully that helps you understand the foundation of what can go wrong in your body. When we have these issues then under hard aspects, then we can have some problems with them. Right now, Jupiter is at the 23 Scorpio, and it is applying to your progressed sun, and the sun, of course, is the ruler of Leo, so it is the ruler of your house of health. So when we put Jupiter on top, Jupiter exposes things. So it's saying, let's take a look at what you have hidden, and it can actually come as a result of a lack in the gut that produces challenges to the colon when we work with Scorpio. So hopefully you're hearing how these things interconnect, and that can be the key to how you get past whatever you're experiencing. I'm no doctor, you understand. I'm simply an astrologer who wants how this works. But sometimes when I'm able to tell people these things, they get the clues they need to get the answers that they're looking for.
Right.
Saturn right now is only at 3 degrees of Virgo. It will hit this 9 degrees coming up and not far down the road. Here it is at 9 degrees in December, the very beginning of December. So it will be making a trine to your natal Saturn. So at that point in time, you may have a doorway of opportunity for you to get some help. I would advise you to get the help sooner than later, because as you get to that point, Jupiter is already at 6 degrees of Sagittarius, which means it's making a square. It is making everything even more visible and challenging you by making you see it, or making you know it, or making you intuitively feel it, whatever it is. I'd say start working on it now. Whenever we work ahead, what happens is we can tend to resolve the problem before we have any hard hits, okay?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This Jupiter activity will continue right through to the beginning of January. So this is the time frame. Saturn will continue to be active to help you during that period of time as well, because as it continues to move forward in early January, it's making a beautiful trine to the progressed Saturn. So you've got help here. So make sure you make good use of it. Saturn in Capricorn can be you going to a doctor or an herbalist or someone who is what we would call a master at what they do. This is not a surgeon, but this is someone who understands and may be someone who is in the medical field, an AMA doctor, but he's probably someone who's like an internist, but not a surgeon. This is not a surgeon.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
I
stay
hope
away from surgeons.
Okay. So hopefully that's helpful to you. I will say this, if there is surgery that does come up at some point in this next few years, you do have the progressed sun traveling through your 8th house, and that is always a wonderful thing to have if you are experiencing surgery. You were also born with Venus in this house, and that's a statement of, I am physically protected in surgery.
Okay,
Those are good. Oh, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, hopefully this has been helpful to you.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thanks for calling, Jennifer.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
You take care and have a good night.
It's really fascinating how on target and how accurate astrology can be if you know what you're doing.
That's why I became an astrologer.
So
I found it to be a miraculous thing, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, we've got Adriana here. Hi, Adriana, you're on the air.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for taking my call.
Oh,
Our
you're
pleasure.
very welcome. What is your birth, Adriana?
December 21st, 1988.
1988. So you're born right on the winter solstice. And what time were you born?
8:33 a.m.
33 a.m. And where were you born?
Bronx, New York.
Bronx. All righty. I was raised in the Bronx.
I can tell.
Yeah, you never lose it.
I'm a New Yorker as well, so that was not meant as a jab.
No problem.
You're fine.
There are some words, no matter how far away you get, you still use them.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
So, Adriana, what did you want us to take a look at?
I wanted to see if possible, will my family grow soon?
Okay, you're looking to see if you will have a child. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're born with the moon in the 5th house in Mercury-ruled Gemini. So you have the ability with that statement to actually have twins. So that's a lovely thing. Right now,
wow.
it doesn't mean you will, but it's possible. Okay, it's a possibility you might not even be aware of. Right now, the progressed moon has finally gotten past, so if you've been trying, the progressed moon may have been holding you back in the last few months. But it is past the challenge, so that is done. With most of the planets, though, in these water and earth signs, they're not helpful to you in terms of your moon or in terms even of the fifth house cusp. So we have to look to Jupiter, and Jupiter, of course, in Sag will be in opposition, but sometimes the opposition can work, and so you'd be looking early on here if that were the case. Mars right now is active with your moon, but Mars isn't going to last in that position. Let's just go forward here a little bit, and let's take Jupiter to where it is in opposition, and let's see if we can get in alignment with Mars. And it's not giving us what we want. Here we go. It's a little out of alignment. If you're looking to get pregnant right away, I don't have a lot here that says it can be done. But, there's also the man's chart, and sometimes the man's chart can pull through what the woman's chart can't. So I'm not going to eliminate it. I am going to say, though, this is the best hit right now. Otherwise, it may be 2 years before you get to that point. I didn't pay attention to how old you are, but everybody nowadays is certainly having children a lot older. So, but 2 years from now would be your next big option, and that would be probably a whole lot more positive than where we are now, because the other planets wouldn't be early in sign and they would not be making challenges to that moon or that house cusp. Let me see where your Mercury is, if we can get any help from Merc.
Got it. Yeah, because I'm in treatment now.
Oh, are you?
To help me.
Yeah. Well, that's probably why I saw the moon, Mars very active. Mars is right on your progressed Mercury right now. So it's like we're doing everything we can to make it happen. And, we might be activating it, but we have to get it 9 months down the road. If we can get you pregnant now, we have to get it all the way 9 months down the road. Because right now, you've got this action. It's active. Mars is active. And Mars, of course, is usually connected to procreation. And it's on your Mercury, which is the ruler of your house of children. So we have that good statement. We don't have a lot of backup, though. And that's the challenging part. You were born, though, with Mercury at 11 Capricorn. So let's see how long it takes to get to that, and maybe you've got a go coming up that we don't see at the surface. So Saturn will already be past your Mercury in January, and that's too soon. But if you were able to actually activate that pregnancy now, we got November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. We're looking at July. So let me just go to July and see how July looks. And July, Saturn is going retrograde, so it's starting to apply to your Mercury. Let's see if it goes all the way back, because that's quite a ways for it to go, but it might do it. Sometimes these planets go, and it looks like it gets really close but doesn't quite make it. But there could be a delivery in there, so I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say stick with it. Your progressed Saturn is trying its best to apply to this Mercury. You've got stuff here where they're trying to get you where you want to go. And if your husband's chart can add the rest, you could pull this through. I will not say it's like I'm not giving it a 99, okay? But I'll say you probably got a 55-65% chance there. So, shoot for it. And the children that are coming in now, they are an amazing group, and they are doing their very best to rewire the women who are giving birth to them so that they can come in, because they're coming in with a much higher vibration. And that's why a lot of women are going through a process in order to get pregnant, because they're not wired exactly right. So it's very hard for that child to hold all the way through the pregnancy. But don't stop. Don't give up. You're going to pull this off, if not with this one, but with another one. So let's just everybody who's listening, if you would just take a deep breath for a second and allow Spirit to come through you, and just let's make an intention that our dear friend who is on the phone with us right now will have this opportunity to give birth to a wonderful being that she will love and adore. So if we all put that intention out there, a healthy child will be born, and hopefully in 2019. So,
cool.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Adriana, please let us know how this works out. Please give us a call back when you are pregnant.
Yes, I will definitely keep you posted. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Please do.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. We always say, let us know, let us know, let us know. Not snow, let us know. Oh, God. Listen, I would welcome the snow. I'm just so glad I can finally breathe outside these days. I really hope that, when we do say that, people understand we truly mean it. We want to hear the good results of our labors here. Okay, we've got.
If the results are off a little, I'd like to hear. When we hear back, this always helps us adjust.
Absolutely. We've got Tasha on the line here. Hi, Tasha. Are you there?
Hello.
Tasha. Hi. Are you there? You're on the air.
Hi. How are you doing tonight?
We're doing
well.
Great. When's your date of birth, Tasha?
1/29/77.
January 29th, 1977?
Yes, ma'am.
And the time of birth?
11:25 p.m.
And where were you born?
In Raleigh, North Carolina.
Raleigh?
Yes.
Right. That's become a really big city. Okay. And what would you like me to take a look at while we're opening this up?
My love life. Anybody new coming in?
Okay. Well, you've got Uranus traveling through that house, so that's ups and downs and sudden and unexpected, and could bring someone in, but it doesn't make anything stable, okay? So
Right.
when I see that, I say, if you want to have a fling, go for it. If you don't, and you're only wanting a long-term relationship, then take your time. Don't jump, because it doesn't promise anything lasting. Uranus only promises change. And
well, how long will Uranus be in this house?
Well, actually, what's happening is it's already really past everything you have that's active in this house. It's past all the activations, and now it's retrograde, and then it's going to hit 25 degrees, so it's going to activate again, and then it's going to push off. And so we're looking at April or so, it will finally be free of this. It'll still be in this house, but it'll be free of the activations. And then we just look to see who will be activating to bring you a doorway. And because this house is Aries, 22 degrees Aries, and you have Venus here, and we look to see your Mars is 22 degrees of Capricorn. But the progressed Mars is 24 degrees of Aquarius, and your part of fortune is 21 degrees of Aquarius progressed. So it's telling me there's going to be opportunity for you. All we need is an activator to bring it, push it forward. And you have some activation coming up with Mars itself, which could be short-fleeted, but it's still activation. And if you're looking, this is your time to be out there. And we're looking at November, early November, the very beginning, the first week of November, the very end, Halloween. That's the time frame. But Jupiter is going to bring an activation that could be really good, and that's a little ways down the road. So let me go to that point and give you that, because that's when you want to be definitely active. You don't want to miss that opportunity. The opportunities from Jupiter come, once every 12 years in this specific position, but you can divide that up and say, well, once every 4 years. So here it is at 22 degrees. It's applying in Sagittarius in March. So that month, the month of March, can be a very good month for you. I would definitely take advantage of that month. Uranus at that point is already at 29 degrees. It's on your Chiron, so it's your progressed Chiron. So it's basically telling us this is a time where out of the blue you have an opportunity to heal the issues of the past, issues of male perhaps dominance, or moving too quickly, or having a marriage that you moved into too quickly and moved out of just as quickly because it just didn't work. Whatever the issues were that may have involved aggression and male energy, you have the opportunity at this point in time to heal it and move forward, because someone new will be coming in. And they come in a way. They may be a teacher, you may be at a spiritual event, or you may be at a conference, or you may be in a library. It's something connected to learning in some fashion there. But it could even be learning on the internet in this day and age. So, we spread that net out, because there's a lot of options today that were never there before. And that trine offers that opportunity. It comes through your ability to communicate and their ability to communicate. And, of course, it could even be through someone that you know who calls you or connects with you through the Internet and lets you know about someone who is in some kind of a service field. So it could be coming from someone who's in the service field that you know. Service can be someone who works for a charity, could be somebody who works for an employment office, it could be someone who is in the military. All of those things are options there. So it could be that that person is in one of those, or that it comes through someone you know who is connected there. So open the doors and pay attention. That will be a period of time where you want to definitely talk to people, connect with people, and allow yourself to discover what possibilities exist for you. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, Tasha. Thanks for calling, Tasha.
Thank you.
Yeah, you share, and good fortune to you. Just beware that Uranus is there. So get a second opinion. Get opinions from friends. Make sure you pay attention to people that you trust as to where you are, so that you don't jump too far too fast, okay?
Right. Okay, I will. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Have a good
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, we've got somebody here that has been, for some reason, she keeps getting dropped off, so I'm going to try to grab her before she gets dropped off again. Hi, Stacy, you're on the air.
Hi, thank you both for taking my call. It's a pleasure, Jenny and Barbara and Michele. This is Stacy. My birthday is the day after Christmas, 1967. I was born in Oceanside, New York at 6:18 a.m.
Okay. 6:18 a.m.?
Mm-hmm.
And Oceanside, New York. looky, I think we've got it. December 26, 1967.
67, yeah, 67. And thanks. And I guess like one of the callers, I'm single also, and not dating, and also looking for employment. So what's coming? And
okay, well, let's see if we see connections. You were born with Gemini in the 7th house cusp, that's the house of marriage, and Taurus on the 5th house cusp, which is the house of falling in love. So your nature is you can fall in love with somebody who is very sensual and maybe a great craftsperson, somebody who's into luxury things. But if they don't communicate really well and aren't open to a lot of possibilities in terms of ideas, you're not going to marry them. So just two statements that are obvious. Right now, you were born with Mercury at 2 degrees of Capricorn, so Saturn has been on top of that. Uranus is activating it, opportunity, but you have to fall in love before you can get married. So, to jump to that conclusion isn't a good one. Let's take a look here if we can identify anybody who's opening that door for you. It looks to me like, they say when it rains, it pours. Well, when options come, sometimes they come in a variety of ways. You have the house of falling in love is ruled by Venus, and so is your house of career ruled by Venus. So activity that activates your natal Venus or progress could bring you what you're looking for. Right now, Jupiter is at 23 degrees of Scorpio, and it has just gone over your Venus. I don't know if you had any opportunities, but that statement says that there could be. Unfortunately, it seems to be challenged by other things in your chart, so it may not have given you the freedom you wanted. Mm-hmm. What else is going on? You're progressed. Progressed Venus is at 23 Capricorn. So you're going to have, right now, this is a doorway. Do you have resumes out? Do you have stuff out there to get that job you're looking for?
Yes, I've been really trying, and I just want to know when you see like something long term. It's been challenging.
Yeah. Well, this is what's open right now. It seems like you should find something. Whether it would be long-term, that really is going to depend on Saturn bringing something more into the picture. And right now, I don't have that. I do have Saturn going to activate this later on. The question is, and unfortunately, Pluto is applying. It isn't applying yet, which means what may likely happen, I'm going to go forward here a few months, is that you may end up getting a job and then you may be promoted to a different job or find yourself saying, you know what, there's something more I want, and so you end up empowering yourself by going for something that is more aligned with who you are. So I'm trying to pull this forward to see where that might activate, and it appears to be this is where the stability starts to come in, and that is February of 2020. I hate to tell you that because it sounds really far away when you're standing where we are now, but that's where it would come in. It looks like it's around that time, the end of January, the beginning of February. And Pluto will come in and change that again. So, right now you're just in a space where your stability may hold for a while and then it will transform. What's nice is as you get in later on in that year of 2020, Jupiter will come in, so it's going to expand everything while Pluto continues to apply. And so I think you're headed to a good place. It's just, sometimes it just takes a little time getting there, you know what I mean? When we get to April, late April, you have Jupiter activating that Venus, and that's where the promotion would come in and you get more money, and Saturn moves out of the way. So
and that's in
2020. So next year is 2019, is the year after.
Wow.
So I know I hate to tell people stuff so far off, but you do have opportunity right now to cull something. It's just you're asking me where is it going to be stable, and that's where it looks like it starts to get stable.
First, the relationship or just at this point.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What's coming first, the relation, meeting somebody, dating, or what's going to be more long-term?
Your action at the same time that your values may be expanding, and at that same time in April, May of 2020, you also have the opportunity to fall in love. So that's also happening at that point in time. Your doorway really activates at that point. And it will activate even before that point as far as love is concerned. Let's see here. It starts to become really active around early March 2020. But before that, not a lot, because Jupiter will be in Sag, and Jupiter in Sag doesn't really help you a lot. It doesn't do a lot for you.
What could she be focused on to sort of help this move along and expand herself?
I mean, I waited. I mean, I had a job for a decade. In the last 5 years, it's horrible. I mean, but you see more movement going even for temp jobs coming in?
Yeah, I see stuff. I mean, the doorway right now is open for you to find some things. It's just not it's not to where you're going. You're headed somewhere. You'll get jobs. That's not where you want to be. You're going to eventually get to where you want to be in 2020, and that's going to make you very happy. In the meantime, just what you have to remember is wherever you work, you need to think of it as your space to be the light that you are. And if you go into that space with a loving attitude, you have the ability to bring the vibration up everyone around you. So try to practice that, because otherwise we can work in an environment that is very challenging, and all we see then is the challenge, and that makes us stressed and tired and exhausted and want nothing more than to get out. If you do it the other way, where you go in with a loving attitude and know that you are bringing the light, you don't have to do anything more than that. It's not talking to anybody or helping anybody change anything, but rather just being in a space of loving energy. You'll change. The people around you respond differently because of the vibration you put out. So try to work with that, because you're actually transforming who you are to find what you really want. You're not quite there yet, and it's going to just take a little bit to get there. But in the meantime, practice the good things that make you.
I'm even.
Go ahead.
I do everything. A resume. I do everything, and why is this happening to me? That's how I'm feeling right now. Because it doesn't look right that in 5 years, when employers ask you, not even if you were at a job for a decade, what have you been doing the last 5 years? It looks like I can't hold a job, and that's why I'm upset. Imagine 2 more years.
You need to get out of that thought frame, because it's how you present who you are. It's not what you haven't done. You need to be able to say, I have consistently worked. Wherever an opportunity presented itself to me, I've consistently worked. We are in a day and age where businesses open and close. They're not all super stable. So if they're downsizing, you don't have a job. If they're upsizing,
I told them
while
the recruiters, when you go into interviews, they're not very nice about it. I mean, why call me in? They see my resume, and why call me in and interrogate me that how come I haven't stayed at a job for a long time? I said, well, I was at a job for almost a decade. They're just, really not nice about it.
Well, I want you to do something before you go into the next job interview. I want you to say to the angels around you, present me with someone who is open to understanding and show me their good side. Make sure you say that, okay? Because what they're showing you is a side that you don't need to see. You need to see the kindness that is in them. Everybody has it. You just need to ask Spirit to show it to you and know that you can have that. I know you've been through hard experiences, so you have to. You have control, more control than you realize. We all do, and it has to do with the way that we think and the way we perceive. And sometimes we decide as soul that we need to challenge ourselves. We do these crazy things to ourselves where we go through major challenges and then we get depressed, down on ourselves, thinking we're less because of the experiences that we've created. You can change your perception. Once you do that, you've created a miracle in your world, and you'll find that people will come towards your perception. It doesn't happen instantaneously, but it does over a period of time. So give it a chance. But I'll tell you, if you will say to the angels, I want you to show me a recruiter who has a good heart, who sees who I am and how incredibly valuable I will be to an employer. Say that. And make sure you say it with a full heart. Don't half-heartedly say it. Just say it, because as you command the universe, it will respond. I could give you a million stories in my own life, but we don't have time for that. So
no.
Definitely, please take my advice on this. It will help you. The chart can do a lot of things. It can tell us a lot of things, but you are still the ruler of this chart. You still have the ability to transform it. And in the 5 minutes or 10 minutes I get here to look, I can't see everything, okay? I'm looking at the planets, the transits, and the progressed planets, but I'm not looking at the fixed stars or the declinations or the Arabic parts or a lot of other things that are out there. So you take control of it. But also know that down the road here, there is a doorway that's going to open, and you're going to transform the way you want to, and you're going to get what you're looking for and empower yourself through it. So
you are, yeah. And Stacy, also tomorrow afternoon, this will be up on YouTube. You can play it over to yourself as often as you need to have Michele in your ear saying, this is what you say. So it'll be up on YouTube tomorrow.
Oh, wonderful. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Oh, thank you all for taking the time for me. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Good things come to those who wait.
Yes, they do. Take care now.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll just put it out there to everybody. The show usually goes up onto my YouTube channel, and you can get there from my website, barbaradulong.com. The link is right there, and the show will be there probably tomorrow afternoon, so you can listen as often as you need to and not take notes like I take notes, but then I'm anal retentive. So, okay, we've got Susan here, I think. Hi, Susan, you there?
Yes, hi, this is Suzanne.
Okay,
hi,
Suzanne.
Yes, my October 5th, 1960, Huntington, New York, 7:25 a.m.
October 5th, 1950, did you say?
60.
You keep trying to make people older.
I don't know why that is. It's just the way I'm hearing. That's why I keep asking. and do the time again. I lost that as I was trying to concentrate on something else. What time were you born?
I think 7:25 a.m.
7:25 a.m. And you were born where?
Huntington, New York.
Huntington. That's such a pretty place. Okay, we'll go take a look. And happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
All right. So, what is it that you would like us to focus on?
Well, I have two questions. My first is I'm having a job interview Tuesday and another one Wednesday. And then when do you see a significant other man coming into my life, relationship? Those two questions.
All right. A job interview. You do have some challenges going on there. But let's see if we've got something that is bringing you. Jupiter should be activating that midheaven, or just did just recently. So, and Jupiter is going through your second house, so you should get a job here. I don't know if it'll be the one Tuesday or Wednesday or shortly thereafter, but you have activation there, and things that you are really wishing for are really not far off. So, I'm going to pull this forward and give you a little look at this, because this is kind of exciting to me. When I see something like this, it's not very often that you have something like this in your chart. So here we have it, just a little earlier than that, right in this zone. It's Christmas, December 24th and December 25th. You have Jupiter right on top of your progressed sun in your house of money and values. That is a statement of some tremendous success that is manifesting for you. This is a combination like this. It can only happen once in 12 years, but to have it in the second house, well, that might not happen in some people's lifetimes at all. So it's kind of it's not every day that happens by any means. So what you're looking for is certainly opening up, and that looks like a workplace, or it could be health, it could be work. It definitely is income, no question about it. So but more than that, it's what you're wishing for is what it basically says. So that looks really good to me. Now you're looking also, though, for a relationship. And what's nice is Jupiter is moving forward to activate your seventh house. It's also it's going to activate your fifth house. This is a good time for you. This is a good year coming up for you. So you're in a good zone. I would say you're probably going to see, you may see it even under that combination at Christmas time. I wouldn't not look at that. I would certainly be looking at that time frame. But it's going to activate also your moon, and when it does that, that also is good for your workplace. So you're looking at this it might be a contract, it might be a phone call, but there is coming up in February, it's activating your moon, and so that trine says that you could have a relationship that opens up, and a one-on-one relationship that just really makes you feel good. It could be a combination that allows you, if you don't own a piece of property, where you might have a doorway where you feel you can go forward with the piece of property. If you have any issues with your mom, it's a doorway to really open up doors and learn a lot more about your mom. At the same time, it's a doorway for more comfort in terms of your workplace. You could even find that you could be increasing income as a result of work or exposure as a result of work on the internet or through your home. So there's a whole lot of statements here. You've got a good thing happening, and even in addition to all of that, as Jupiter continues to move, it will conjoin itself. So you're having Jupiter return. Again, that's once every 12 years that happens. So you're in a really good zone for things happening in your life right now. And so I expect you to do well.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And I think that's really all I need to say about those things. Yeah, this period in February, early February, I mean, you have also Mars is active. You've got a whole bunch of things active late late January and early February of next year. So, enjoy yourself. Make sure to make yourself visible. And, Uranus is even making a trine to Uranus. Out of the blue, a dream comes true. It's pretty cool. You got Mars, Jupiter, Eris, and Uranus all active through your house of wishes and dreams. This is a great time for you. You've got some good things happening this year. So, yeah, go for it. Go for whatever you want. You have the ability to make things happen.
Okay, Susan.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
You're welcome.
Good night now.
Exciting.
Okay, it's nice when you can say that kind of nice stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not always, that's for sure.
Okay, we've got Donna. Hi, Donna, you're on the air.
Thank you. I love your show. Thank you, Barbara. Hi, Michele.
Hi, Donna.
My birthday is April 22nd, 1954. I was born at 2:50 p.m. in New York.
2:50 p.m. New York, New York?
Manhattan. Flushing, Long Island.
Oh, Flushing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's different.
Yeah, it actually makes a difference. So, yeah.
Oh, okay, I've never been there. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah. It's okay. It's not New York, New York. That's
okay.
We think of the five boroughs of New York City, but they're astrologically they have different longitudes and latitudes. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so we need the whole thing. And you did say 1954, so I'm not making you older, am I right?
No, I feel older. I am older. Yeah.
No, I just wanted to make sure. I've been making a mess.
That's the age. Hard to believe.
Yeah, so you're born in the year of the horse. And, it's a good year. All righty. Fleet-footed steed, tell me, what is it you would like me to look at?
Well, I heard my nephew. He's on the other side. I hear him occasionally. And 2 days ago, I was meditating, which I do every morning for 40 minutes, and it came through and said that it's coming soon. So I don't know if that's a husband coming soon or more money, because I've been praying for my financial stability to get better and also to meet someone to get married, because I've never been married. Here I'm 64, and it's something I'd like to do in this lifetime.
Wow. Well, the sun has just moved the sun in the sky moves rapidly, so we don't often talk about it, but it's interesting. I mean, it's just moved into your second house, which is your house of money. It's making a trine directly to your midheaven. So that's a lovely statement, and in and of itself seems to indicate there are good things. You were born with Saturn in this house. Saturn usually causes us to work hard wherever it is, and so money is not like it just doesn't just float into your world. Although I think there are ways that we can make it do that even with Saturn here. So the key is to change our perception and to say Saturn is in my second house, so it allows me to save lots of money. But, we also have Neptune in this house and Libra on the cusp, so I also have the ability to create money through fantasy, through dreams, through pipe dreams. And so, look at it a little bit differently. You are a person with the air signs on all your work cusp, so you're a person who's a great communicator. You're born with Jupiter at the midheaven, so you should have, this year is going to be a good year for you, money. Jupiter is right now in Scorpio, so it hasn't been helping you at all, and right now it's at 23 degrees, so it's exactly in what we call a quincunx action to your natal Jupiter, which is stressful. So it's like even your communication, you have to be careful. You could stress talking to people, and you're a good talker. So when we have that quincunx action, what happens is we go back and forth should I say this? Should I not say this? Should I tell everything? Should I not tell everything? Because Jupiter in Scorpio is traveling, and Jupiter in Scorpio says, keep your mouth shut. And Jupiter in Gemini, which you were born with, says, tell the whole story. There's so many possibilities. Why wouldn't we explore them all? So that causes stress when it's like that. Fortunately, it's not going to last very long there. It's moving on. As I said, it's going into the next sign on November 10th, so you only have maybe another week of this. But it'll be over. And then, as it goes into Sag, it will be opposing itself, so it's a balancing act where you might find yourself tripping over your tongue, telling more than you should. And, of course, your moon, you were born with the moon in Sag, so it's in exact opposition to Jupiter. So your mom probably always said more than she should, may still tell you more than she should. But, so she is a reflection for you to realize that I shouldn't always tell it all, and so you may struggle with that your whole life. And Jupiter's bringing that into more visibility, even more visibility. So, what I'd say to you with your mom and also with your mouth, you need to remember honor yourself and honor others. Your mom's always going to all moms try to do the best they can for us. And when they say things that are hurtful or they say too much in front of you need to just say, Mom, I heard if you wouldn't do that. And it's all you can do. You can't control anybody. So right now you have Saturn on top of your Mars, so you may feel like you're tired. They can make you feel tired. Your energy gets
I've been feeling tired.
Yeah, but it's going to pass here. It'll be over here pretty soon. In a month from now, it's already passed. So your energy will start to return, and that's always a nice thing to know because that can be challenging. And I assume your mom is doing okay.
She's on the other side.
Oh, she is? Okay. Well, then
she passed 30 years ago.
That's the easiest place to be, so that's good news. Saturn is your progressed moon, and your progressed moon has just recently, in the last 8 months, gone into Taurus, and Uranus will go back on top of your natal sun. So you have some changes coming through, and it's not surprising that you're hearing your nephew speak or hearing anyone, for that matter. You have Sun in the 8th. You have your progressed moon in the 8th. Your intuition is there. It may come through more kinesthetically for you than just auditory, but that Jupiter in Gemini probably activates the auditory element because you should feel it. You should just feel it, and you'll continue to do that. So there are good things coming, but what else do I need to say? I mean, right now your progressed sun is sitting there with Jupiter progressed in, they've come together. So you've got success activating, and maybe you don't see it quite yet, but each year it's just getting closer. It's moving in a more positive space. But right now they're within 3 degrees. So you should be experiencing success. Anytime we get Jupiter and the Sun together, and it's in your 10th house, so in the house of your career, you're going to see it. The part of fortune as we speak in the sky right now is trying to help you out on top of it. I think that's very sweet. You called with the part of fortune right on top of your Jupiter.
Oh, wonderful. Wow. Oh, I'm excited. Wow, that was wonderful.
Yeah. So you're going to be. And the moon, of course, is right now is at 8 degrees progressed, but in 3 months' time, it will be into your 9th house. So you may have a desire to travel at that point.
Oh, I love traveling. Yeah.
Yeah, and there may be a desire to travel to a place that your mother has been, or a place that you love, a place that has to do with feeling really luxury, a kind of feeling of luxury or security, or it wouldn't surprise me if you traveled to a place that was like had a castle or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where you're going, it's very likely you'll do it when the moon gets, let's see here, that's 8 degrees now, so 10 degrees, in 1 year and 2 months, or 1 year and 3 months time.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll start getting ready for it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's sort of.
Lose a
This
couple
is probably going
pounds.
to be a long distance that you're going. I don't think we have any real catch dates.
I love long distance traveling. I love going to foreign countries and all that. Yeah. I've done quite a bit of it, through my years, and I love it. And wow, this has just been so optimistic. Just talking to you, it's exciting. Yeah.
Awesome.
And then,
well, every now and then.
Now go out and live it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, I will. Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thanks
for
so
calling.
much, both of you, Barbara and Michelle. Thank you. I appreciate this.
Thank you.
Have
Bye-bye
a good
now.
night now. Bye.
You too.
Bye.
I like it when you can, blow sunshine. We've got Jackie on the phone. Hi, Jackie.
Hi, how are you guys?
Doing well.
Good.
Thank you for taking my call. I know it's been a long time for you guys to do this, so I appreciate it.
No problem. When's your birthday?
So you need my birthday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
1/2/61.
January 61. And the time?
I believe the time is 11:45 a.m.
11:45 a.m. And location?
The hospital was located in Darby, Pennsylvania.
Darby, PA. All righty then. Let's see where we go. And what did you want us to kind of focus on?
Employment.
Okie dokie. Well, Saturn is applying. It's starting to come to the midheaven, and it rules your midheaven. Your midheaven is in Capricorn. You're born with the Sun and Jupiter there. You should have a pretty good career record with Sun and Jupiter together. And even Saturn is up there. You have Sun, Jupiter, and Saturn, and Mercury at the midheaven. Wow. So Saturn progressed, has kind of moved past all of it. Pluto has been causing you a little havoc in this house. Pluto is such a challenge. Right now it's at 18 degrees, so it's applying to your Saturn, which means it's a time to transform in terms of the kind of work that you've been doing or the kind of career that you've been having, and the transformation may be a transformation towards more maturity or towards looking at where old age will take you. It's a transformation that can be empowering. With Saturn going to the midheaven, let's see, it will apply to your Mercury, and that can be some kind of contract that might come up. It could also be, let's see if we've got something else. It could also be, nope, there's nothing else right on there. So it's hidden in there. But let's see if we've got activation from that as it goes to that midheaven. Yep, direct activation. You were born with Pluto activating your midheaven. So, and it's a trine, and the North Node as well. So what you're going to have is some kind of doorway opens up in terms of the workplace that can probably give you a promotion. Usually when we have a trine to Pluto and Pluto's traveling through that house, that says that I can have an opportunity to empower myself. So a promotion is usually the way we do that. And will it bring you more money? When it hits that 21 degree mark, the promotion will also increase your income. But that takes quite a bit more time. But, it doesn't mean you won't get more money when you have the promotion, but for you to get the money that you're after, that will take just a little more time. And I'm going to pull it forward here to give you that period. And it is right about December of next year, December 2019. So somewhere between around the end of December 2019. So whatever it is that you're going to find yourself in, it's going to increase it at that point. That's pretty exciting. And that's as Jupiter starts to go into Capricorn. Wow. So you have that as Jupiter goes into Capricorn next year. As it comes to the end of the year, it will be only at 1 degree, but it's going to move rapidly forward. And by the beginning of January, it's already at 8 degrees. So it's gone across your midheaven and opened a doorway into your house of career to bring you even more opportunity. So you've got all kinds of things coming up. Jupiter on top of the sun and applying to your Jupiter, where you're going to have a Jupiter return again. If you think back 12 years ago from 2020, so what does that take you to? 2008? Did I do that right? Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, 2008. Yeah. Think back to 2008, and it could have been right around December, January, so it might have been into 2007, 2008. Think about how that looked at that point in time. Did you get any kind of was it pretty rosy in terms of career at that point? If you're a person who gets any kind of publicity action or involved in any way with publicity, this is publicity all over it, where you would be seen. You know, some of my clients are, models and stuff and singers and whatnot, and when you see an action like this, they're going to really, this is where you get on the front cover. Action like this. Of course, you have Jupiter with the sun in this house anyway, so, you would be a person who could possibly get on the front cover if you were after the front cover. Know what you're after, so.
Well, I am interested eventually in doing talks, so, maybe that's...
Yeah, that's the front cover. It's on the stage. You're in front of a group, whether you're doing it on the internet or you're doing it in person. It doesn't matter. You have the ability. I'd be shooting for this time zone. Whatever you need to get prepared, get it prepared now, because as Saturn is going across this, as Pluto is activating transformation, this is your time to get everything in place, because when you get to the beginning of January 2020, you have the opportunity to be in front of a lot of people, and it will continue from January until February. That month,
I joke to people about my TED Talk, my upcoming TED Talk.
All right, well, that's when you should be doing the TED Talk. You need to send us a link so we can go watch you do your TED Talk.
I'm so technically challenged, though. Can I ask about my love life?
You have to ask Barbara if I can keep going. I don't know where we are in time.
You've got 3 minutes or so.
Okay. Well, good. Let's
give her a quickie.
Okay, I will. You have the part of fortune in your house of marriage, and you will have activation of that. When you have this other activation, let's see here, it will happen just before that, actually. It should be next year. Yes, it will be next year. So let's go back, and who knows who you're going to meet, but it looks like you're meeting them in a public venue. I'm going to go back in months. I'm creeping along here. Here we go. That's what I need. So your part of fortune is what? 7 degrees? 21 degrees of Libra. So here it is, 21 degrees of Sag, and that is in October of 2019. At that point in time, you have a possibility of actually connecting with someone. It could be someone who does not live anywhere near you. This is more of an international connection than it is a local connection, although it can be someone at a university or a conference, or someone who is a public figure in some audio or audio-visual kind of space. But you could actually connect with the person probably even before that, but suddenly find yourself actually having a marriage proposal. it wouldn't surprise me.
Wow.
And
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting because you have the possibility of a marriage right shortly after that. Crazy. Because it's a statement of sudden, out of the blue, unexpected, but I'm doing it. So you may. And it could be someone who is from a past life, so that may be why it seems like it's fast and sudden, but they could be from a past life because Uranus rules your 12th house. So they may be from a past life as we have activity. It's not without challenges. There's a question of where do we live, because it doesn't look like you're living in the same place from the looks of this. You have a certain, that quincunx action also is going on with the moon, so it's like, do I move? Do I stay? Can we make this happen? There's some questions going on. At the same time, it's got a beautiful trine to Venus, progress, so we're in love, we love each other, we need to work this out. You'll figure it out, Don't let location drive you crazy, follow your heart.
Okay.
Okay, and with that, we have to move on.
All right, thank you so much.
You're welcome,
care.
Jackie.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good place to stop you. Now, surprise, surprise, we've got Jackie, another Jackie on the phone.
Hey, when you first called the other one, I thought you were talking to me.
Yeah, there were two Jackies right in a row.
Yeah, something told me that was going to happen. Hi, Michele. Hi, Barbara.
Hi, nice to meet you, Jackie. So when's your birthday?
January 5th, 1965. I'm the one from the UK, but I don't know the exact time.
Oh, that's going to kind of put a crimp in my ability to really tell you a lot. But where in the UK were you born?
London. And something triggered in my chart between August and September. I could tell you that much.
I don't know if I'll have the ability to speed look at that, but we'll go look. So what I've put up here is what we call a noon chart. So the houses will be useless to us because we don't know where anybody is. If I knew what you looked like, I might be able to do some kind of rectification. But still, it's not fair to even do that.
Okay.
It could be really up. But
you do chart rectifications.
Yeah, rectification is where we sit down and we, like you said, I had something activate, and I would say, okay, what day, what was it, and then I try to apply that and see where the chart should be. And then I'd look at you and I ask you a lot of questions if I'm not seeing you, what do you look like, what is this, and so forth. And that helps me kind of move the chart around, but normally when we rectify a chart, we work with it. So I'd send you and say, well, try this and try this and try this. Let me know if they happen on these days. And if they do, then I know I've got the right place. If they don't and something else happens, then we move the chart around till we finally get a chart that is the right chart for you. Okay. So it takes a little, that's called rectification. It takes a little doing, but we have the ability to do it. We also have the ability to chart as a result of a child or someone else who's born. So, we have that. Unfortunately, I don't always have that information. So what is it you're concerned about or looking into?
Well, I'm concerned about a move, and also I want to go back to school in the New Year's. I'm hoping that my affairs with the move would pretty much be kind of stable by then, so I could begin taking classes. I'm just doing my soul searching and exactly what I want to study first, but I know I want to do some other things that I haven't been able to do in my life, because I just had things kind of tangled up with some family members, and it's been several years now. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. Just don't know how far away that is.
Well, right now your progressed moon is at 3 degrees of Aquarius, and you were born with it at 13 degrees of Aquarius. I'm actually not surprised you're here in the United States. That's very close to the U.S.'s chart. But in 10 months' time, not even 10, it's less than 10, it's 9 months' time, the moon will conjoin the moon. And at that point, you should probably have a place, you should probably have located where you want to be. So that should be about right. Now, there may be other factors that will come into play. Right now, Mars is on top of, it's hitting a sweet point between these two progressed and natal moons. So you may be feeling like you need to break away, you need to take action now. You might feel driven, literally. And that will continue for at least another week, and then it'll drop off, thank God, because Mars kind of pushes you. When I look, let's see what else is, you've got a whole bunch of things all sitting together. When we look, Saturn,
it has been pushing me. It has been pushing me, but no one around me has been pushed.
Yeah. I'm kind of limited without a time. Pluto in the sky is activating your Neptune, and Neptune. We can't define everything about it because I don't have the houses, but Neptune can be where we are intuitive, and Pluto making that activity can really cause you to have even more intuition. You could find yourself being more aware of things at a deeper level than you have in the past. And it can be information coming through that has to do with old stuff. So you may find that can be valuable to you in figuring out where you want to go or what you want to do next. Because as it digs stuff up, it allows you to have more insight into what you desire. Okay. And you've got, Jupiter has been activating that Neptune, been expanding the possibilities for you. Jupiter, of course, is going to change signs, and when it gets to, it's moving into Sag, when it gets onto your Venus, your need or desire to get more learning, more knowledge, go to school, it will just increase exponentially. And so you're looking at, in terms of time frames on that, that's probably, I'm going to say, February, you may start to really feel it, but then it's going to, as you come to the end of February, you're going to be feeling it really, really strong. But then Jupiter has got to go retrograde, and it's going to go retrograde in May. So you feel it really strong. By the time you get to like the end of the first week of March, you may say, oh, I don't know that I can do this, and you drop it off, and then Jupiter turns around and it comes back, and it goes back over it in the end of May, so you feel it again, and then it's going to keep going back, and then it's going to turn around, and it comes back again, and here is where you take action when it hits it the third time, which is in October of 2019, which is next year. At that point in time, and it's going to activate your South Node, Venus, and it will push forward and activate your Mercury as well. So you're going to be wanting to go to school, and probably will go to school at that point. Now, what will you be studying? The fact that you have Venus and Sag says you love knowledge, you love worldliness, you love learning about all kinds of things. It could be spirituality, it could be the law, it could be the internet, it could be coding. There's a whole lot of stuff in there. It could be publicity, it could be advertising, marketing, all of these things. It could be international imports and exports and travel. All
Absolutely.
of those are possible. I'm
so right
limited the wheel, but those things are definite statements in your world. So what you choose to learn is probably embedded somewhere in what I have just said.
Yes,
okay?
Absolutely. It's like all of the above. And
okay, so
a lot of stuff, but it's not everything by any means.
Right.
A lot of
but I know how the connectiveness with it works.
Yeah.
You know, it's just to get the credentials and to do what I really want to do. I mean, I'm not going to quit my day job because I have to be practical, and I need my job to be able to apply for certain loans and things of that nature to push forward. It's just that the delay and the problems that I had within my extended family, you know, and this move it's hanging in the balance, because once this move take place, then I could become settled again.
Yeah, we got to move, Jeannie.
My foundation.
So, got to move, Michele.
Okay. I want to add one more thing before we go, and that is that as Jupiter is activating your Venus and you're going to school, you're not without challenge, because Mars is still challenged. So you want to pay attention to your energy level. Be careful. Make sure that you take care of yourself, okay?
Yes, definitely. I know what you're talking about. Thank you so much.
Thanks for calling, Jackie. Bye-bye. I feel like such a meanie. I feel so mean when I have to cut you off, but otherwise you just stay the whole hour on somebody. Okay, we've got Sorora 929. You're on the air. I can't pronounce your name.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning. Hi. My name is Soraya. Thank you for taking the call.
Okay, I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Yeah,
no. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. My name is Soraya.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Just barely.
Okay.
What's your date of birth?
7/9/81.
Much better.
9th, 1981. And what time were you born?
1:15 a.m.
Bronx,
New York.
A.M. Bronx. Oops. Bronx, New York. Okie dokie. And what did you want me to focus on?
Moving. And
moving?
Mhm.
Do you have us on speakerphone?
No.
Oh, okay, because you are very hard. Okay.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Let's see here. Your natal, your house of home is ruled by the moon, which is most people's isn't, but and your progressed moon right now is in 19 degrees of Aquarius, so it's like you have had a desire to break free for the last almost 20 months. That's very difficult. And right now it is Mars is past your progressed Mars is past your Sun, and it's moving into your fourth house. And when it does, that's like a 2-year travel. It's too long. Right now it is in a challenge to that moon, so it's like I want to go but I can't, and you're stuck. One of these has to move out of the way, and of course the progressed moon will. In another month it'll be out of the way, but we'll still have to have some action. And what you have is 23 degrees. Here we go. So it's very likely that you will move in 3 months to 4 months time, somewhere between 3 and 4 months from now. That's where there is an opportunity. It looks like the money is available, and you get to go where you want to go. So that's about the time frame, between 3 and 4 months from now. And I can kind of move it forward to see that action. Yeah, here it is. January, early January, you should move. So sometime in January is what I would say. Let's see if we've got some other support of that. Jupiter is not really doing anything, but it is in a great place for you to have the resources you need. Saturn is not going to help, but it's not hurting you. Pluto is not really helpful, but it's too far away to really do any damage. And Uranus is out of the picture, so it looks like this is your time frame. Okay?
Do I have any helper, earth angels around that time to guide me in the direction?
You know, you always have.
Yeah.
You always have beings around you who will help you. All you need to do is ask. We all have them. You know, you have Pluto directly activating everything, creating a grand trine with this moon. So you should have what you need to make the move. Open up and tell the universe, this is what I want. And Pluto actually is a partner, ruler of your house of connections, of other people who are what we call one-on-one connections. So don't be afraid to ask your friends. Ask the people that you know, can you help me with this, or do you know someone who can help me? Your progressed sun is also active in helping you. So yes, you do have help. There's no question about it. You've got lots of support. You should do fine. And, you know, the progressed sun is in your 5th house right now. If you have any children, they would be helpful. If you have any siblings, they may also be helpful.
Yeah,
so,
I have children. And they are looking too.
Yeah. It looks very good to me. I mean, it looks like you have the ability to have other people's resources help you get to where you want to go. So other people's resources can be money, it could be their energy, it could be loaning you a pickup truck, you know. I mean, there's a lot of ways you can look at the use of other people's resources, but you have it. It's all right there. You know, the end of this year, the beginning of January, it looks very good to me.
Okay, we've got to. No, we have to move on. I'm so sorry, but we got. Thank you. Bye bye. Okay, we have time for one more. This is Tricia. Hi, Tricia.
Hi, Barbara, and hi, Michele. Thank you for my call. I'm 3/15/1954, and that's Auckland, New Zealand.
March 15th, 1954, another horse. And what time were you born?
5:54.
5:54, and you were born in 1954 as well? Did I get that right?
Sorry, 5:45.
5:45 p.m. or a.m.?
A.m.
A.m. And in Auckland, New Zealand, you said?
Yeah. Auckland.
Yeah, that's. Thank you. I'm going, I didn't know there was an Auckland in New Zealand. Auckland, that's a different story. Got it.
There's an accent.
It's good. It's a good accent. I love accents. It gives character. Okay. So let's see now. What is it that we are focusing on?
Like a major kind of movement with career, or in kind of like anything that's kind of shaking that boat. Romance. I kind of feel like the two of them are going to come together, but whatever comes, you know, whatever you see.
Okay. Let's see here. You have in your house of a romance, you have the moon. You were born with the moon at 29 degrees of Cancer. That's what we call a critical moon. It's a statement that says, this is my last life working out the issues of the home life, of motherhood, of taking care of children. I want to master it in this lifetime. I will complete the mastership of it. like I'm going for my PhD in these things, and you have sudden change developing in this area as well. You decided to put your South Node there and Uranus there. And let's see, we have activation of these guys currently. It's just the moon is getting ready to activate. And so there is an option that's coming up even as we speak. It's in November, the end of October, this is very, very active. So you're looking at, the last week of October and the first week of November. There's opportunity, and it could come from travel. It could come from going somewhere where you could be a movie theater. It could be that you're going out and socializing with friends and family, and as a result of that, you could connect with someone you haven't connected with before, someone who's not normally in your neighborhood. So I would definitely take advantage of anything that comes up during that time, because that option opens then. And let's see what else. And I think that if you do connect at that time, it's going to be with someone who is connected to a past life, connected to a dream or a wish that you made in a past life, someone who's capable of helping you heal issues from that past life and also from this life in terms of healing wishes that were made that are that have not come to fruition yet. So there's a lot of wonderful statements there, and the opportunity for you to activate the love from a past life, that love that may be connected to your homeland or connected to family from some past life. So there's a whole lot of statements. I would definitely take advantage of this, and soul family is part of that. So that's coming up. And then you asked also about money. Of course, Jupiter is getting ready to go across your midheaven and activate your Mars. So there's no question you have an expansion of money coming up. It's not tomorrow, but it is coming. It starts to apply to the midheaven in January, and it by the beginning of February, it has activated your Mars. So sometime in January, there is definitely an expansion of income as a result of something that you are actively participating in terms of career.
Yes. Oh, thank you. I just wrote a musical, so I'm like sending it to key people and activating that. So that's my vision. So that's great timeline. Thank you.
Yeah, and there is as Jupiter continues to move, it's going to by the time we get to March, it is activating your Pluto and a trine, a beautiful trine, and Pluto is the transformer. You have it in the house of the workplace, which is also the house of service, and the statement is, I have the ability to transform through performance, or can transform children, or help children perform, or teach children how to perform. There's all kinds of statements going on in here. All of them or any of them could be the possibility that is active for you. Does that make sense?
Oh, that sounds fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and that's
are you? I have a question here. Are you doing anything with video stuff at the moment?
Video?
Yeah.
No, not really.
I keep feeling video is coming in here for you over the next 6 months. That there's something connected to being in a video of some sort that is going to catapult you into a new circle of experience.
Oh, that sounds exciting. Thank you, Barbara.
Well, what's really, really exciting, too, in your chart is your solar return, which comes, on your birthday. Jupiter is right at 23 degrees in that solar return, so it's directly active for an entire year on your Pluto. So that trine to Pluto, that empowerment, that ability to transform others and empower others through your visibility, your performance, your teaching, it's active for an entire year, and that is pretty exciting to me.
Oh, that sounds all really good. I just want to keep talking to you guys, but I know you're running out of time. So
it's not without challenge. So, you do have to pay attention to your body because Jupiter is making a square to the Sun, and the Sun is in the first house, and Jupiter rules the first house. So you have to be careful about your body in terms of it getting larger. Pay attention, okay? Don't let it run away from you.
I've actually been losing weight because I work out so much on my property that I've been thinking, how can I put on weight? Because you can get really gaunt when you get older if you lose too much weight. But I'm toned, so that's good. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'll keep you guys informed. And it's nice to talk to you, Barbara.
Lovely talking to you, too. Thank you so much for calling.
Blessings.
You have a wonderful night.
Thank you. I'm going to re-listen to that again.
Okay. Michele, we have only 3 minutes left, so what do we as mortals have to look forward to? I mean, certainly everybody's chart is different, but it would seem to me that the energy of the universe has been crazy the last little while. So are things going to calm down, or are they going to continue to be unstable?
I can't say that they're going to calm down because we have an activation taking place. And, of course, we've been talking about this, being at the footstool of the dog star, the 23,000-year experience, doorways opening up. We're catapulting forward and transforming at so many levels, and female energy is pouring in at this point in time. It is the Me Too movement is one little picture compared to how this is really taking place. Intuition is being activated, and so there is this thinning of the veil. They've been talking about the thinning of the veil since 1967, but you can't miss this point in time. So it is interesting because the sacred feminine keeps coming up over and over and over and over again in everything that I read, and it's there in our faces, and it's sort of like an empowerment to let your voice be heard. Yeah. Well, Uranus is activating Saturn right now, and it's activating it in a positive way, but that doesn't mean that the picture that we see is so positive, because when you put anything in hard aspect to that Uranus or Saturn, what you end up with is an earthquake and a shaking, a sudden unexpected experience with the earth. So we have some challenges coming up because Jupiter's getting ready to go into Sagittarius, and as it goes into Sagittarius, of course, it can bring that activation on. So we have that taking place. And, of course, Mars right now is in Aquarius, and it's already activated. I think it activated that point some days ago, and that was probably the whole event that took place in the Pacific, where there's been some experiences going on there. If anybody needs to get a hold of me, micheleavanti.com, spelled with one L, or astrologyandmore.com, or at gmail.com. Available. Or put in Michele Avanti, astrologer, and you'll find me.